Hi, Tiffany here, and I wanted to share some of my Advent journaling with you. I'm using the ephemera from the new releases in the Print and Pray shop. This is the Better Together release, and I will be journaling day 5, and if I have time, I may do day 6. And I just love combining all of this journaling also in my little mini Bible. This is a Zondervan NIV journal, the Word New Testament. There's a blank page every other page, and it's only on one side, so you can see the blank page and then the text on the other side. But that's what I will be doing. So let's begin. So I'm actually going to be doing some watercoloring in this little mini Bible. And yes, the page is crinkled, but I just love having this activity throughout the winter. Just kind of reminds me of a summertime activity, so it's nice to bring its lightness and simplicity into the winter season. I'm just going to open up my day 5 envelope, and I've already included the prompt and the scripture for today. And today's scripture is Song of Solomon. I am his beloveds, and his desire is for me. It's from chapter 7:10. And I found a cross-reference in Galatians 2:20. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. So as I watercolor these simple evergreens, they remind me of Brianna's. Not quite as pretty, but they are my own. I am reminded that through Christ, I now have this eternal mindset, and that if I set my desire on things that Christ would have for me, I will feel this fullness instead of this emptiness. And of course, a little part of me is always going to have my heart set on the eternal, set on heaven. But while I'm here on earth, I can have those desires that Christ has for me and his will over my life. So I'm going to watercolor, just super simple, nothing crazy. And I love this little Heat It tool from Ranger. It dries things in a flash. I can't recommend it enough. So that's my base page for now. And then I'm going to move my attention onto the envelopes. Oh, but first I'm going to add some splatters because, what's a page without the splatters? And once that's dry, I'm just going to go ahead and set it aside so I can focus on my Bible decks. So using the envelope and some of the ephemera from day 5 and Tamara's little twinkle stars, I'm going to go ahead and decorate this envelope and include it in my faith decks. And as I'm doing that, I'm also pondering on Mary Beth's words for day 5 about desire. And I just love her writing and what she shared with us on that little note card about how the word desire is often weighted with the baggage of guilt because the desire most often encountered is in pursuit of self-focused living. So that's why I shared that scripture in Galatians 2:20. When we set our mind on the will that God has for us and for the eternal, and just to be more heavenly minded, we can enter this season with more fullness. And so I'm taking that envelope flap and I'm actually making a little tab for my Bible. After I add today's date, or December 5th, to that little tabby, I'm going to set it aside and focus on my actual journaling. And I'll be journaling on one of Elaine Davis's Advent journaling cards that just released today in the Print and Pray shop. And I'm just going to go ahead and journal some of those things that I just shared with you today. And I also want to keep some of this private, and that's when Tamara's florals come in. I love how large they are, so I'm just going to go ahead and hear that on top. and it's a private prayer to God. So I love how that cluster kind of hides it. And then I'm also adding in one of the elements from Lauren's set paired with the ephemera from today's envelope. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere that right on top of that floral cluster. And now that's ready to go inside of my faith decks. Oh, but first let's add a little star. And to finish up my little Bible journaling entry, I'm going to take that Bottlebrush Washi and add some of my ephemera from the envelope, and then layer in Brianna Showalter's Bottlebrush Trees. I just love them. They're so cute. And also include the scripture tab. That's from Jill's Advent 22 Toolbox that I love and use so much. And then one of Tamara's little stars that are so adorable. The last thing that I'm going to do is add that tab there to the Bible page. But now I can bring over my little Bible decks and add in day 5's card that was in the envelope, as well as my decorated envelope and my journaling card. So let's go back to my entry and just add that little tabby, and that'll be the very last thing that I do for this Bible journaling entry. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Ta-da!